What's up, you guys? This is Rob from Lega Plays, and today on the Daily Grind, we're going to be taking a look at all three of Fortuna's new amps. Now, before we jump on in, I did want to do a little bit of holiday self-promotion. As you guys know, we currently have NoDeWiHoE going on, and if you are watching this video before the 25th of December, make sure to go ahead and enter into our Mesa Prime Access giveaway. I'll go ahead and toss a link down in the description box below, just so that you guys can go ahead and jump into that. In addition, we are having a 1,000 platinum giveaway, but I'm gonna hide the details of that somewhere in this video, so make sure to keep watching. Alrighty, so we're going to cover the Prisms and the Scaffolds tier by tier. However, before we do that, we're going to do a quick overview on the bracers. And that's mainly because of the fact that I used one specific bracer throughout all of these amps because of the stat boost that it provided, and the rest of them kind of just played around with ammo economy. So starting off with the tier 1, we have the Suo brace, which is an oversized capacitor. They increase the ammunition, but it's got a longer recharge time. The next one at tier 2 is the Plaga brace. It's smaller, more numerous microcapacitors. It gives less ammunition, but a quicker recharge time. Now, of course, none of those seem as juicy to me as the Certus brace. The arm piece incorporates several internal lenses, increasing the likelihood of critical hits. This one gives a flat 20% boost to any prism and any scaffold that you put it on. So for me, this was definitely the go-to. However, what I'm going to do just for demonstration purposes so that you guys can see the prisms and the scaffolds on their own without any kind of crazy stat boost from that specific brace, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Suo brace instead. So as you can see, the first one that we are going to be taking a look at is the tier 1 Kantak Prism and Exard Scaffold. So the Cantic Prism is a fine cut pavilion married to a shutter governor, which allows for rapid yet economical fire. Basically what they're saying is this is a burst fire. And as you can see, once gilded, it has a 34% crit chance. It's got a 2.2 times critical multiplier, but only a 10% status chance. So that one's actually really good, and I find it to be very accurate. It's got an accuracy of 32, and I kind of like, it's kind of like, remember the tier 1 one where you are just kind of shooting out pings of lasers? It feels like that, but in burst fire mode, and y'all know I like a good burst fire. Moving on to the Exard Scaffold, this one is a burst fire grenade launcher, so you can see a little bit of a theme here in tier 1, where you're just lobbing around a bunch of bursts. Now this one looks a little weird because I find the secondaries look strange, but once gilded, it does have a 17% crit chance and a 1.9% crit multiplier, but it's got a status chance of 33%. It is very nice. I have a lot of fun with this one, but it can be a bit sloppy. You can see its accuracy is only 10. Regardless, that's enough talk. Let's go ahead and jump into the simulacrum so I can show you how this works. Okay, so before we jump in, I did want to give you guys a little bit of a disclaimer. We are setting the level down to 50, mainly because of the fact that it's pretty well known that operator amps are not necessarily the most powerful weapons out there. Void damage doesn't have crazy bonuses attached to it either. It does have a unique status effect, but legitimately they're not like offensive powerhouses. However, there are some arcanes that are coming up in the Vox Solaris Syndicate that I do want to get my hands on that'll actually convert the damage over into more standard damage types. So you never know, that might actually go ahead and change the game, but as it stands, not super ridiculously powerful. I did originally have it set to 60 because that's the highest on the star chart, or that's generally the highest that they go for in the star chart, but it was taking a while and we were pinging away at the enemies for way too long. So I'm like, okay, round 2. So let's go ahead and jump on in and take a look at this. So this is the Kantak Prism. This one is a very quick burst fire. So as you can see right here, it's doing some good crits, and it's really firing so fast that legitimately it's almost hard to tell that it's a burst fire. The only way that you really know is that you have multiple damage numbers coming up. So as you can see right there, it's really nice and accurate too. And it's really, like they were saying, it's economical. So if there's a enemy, if you want to be able to fire off a lot of shots, this is going to be the one that you go for. As you can see, we're actually using this on a Bombard, which is a heavier unit. It's not the heaviest unit out there, but it is a heavier unit. So it's nice if you're trying to take out, you know, maybe onesies or twosies when it comes down to like trash mobs. it's a good, like, as they said, economical way of taking down those enemies without doing something like the second thing we've got going on, which of course is the Exard Scaffold. Now this one is the grenade launcher, and unlike the Cantic Prism, which fires off 3 shots, this literally just it just empties your entire clip in a very, very sloppy way. Now originally I was like, ooh, this one looks like it could be fun, and it is to a degree fun. However, for me, it just literally empties out your clip. So I don't know, because again, I didn't play around with, like, you know, the max ammos of these weapons, so I haven't been able to kind of like play around with that one. But as you can see, I do have a higher than standard pool for this, because I do have all of my what is it called? I do have all of my, what is it called? My waybounds unlocked, and Matarai has a couple things that'll go ahead and boost the amount of ammo that you have in there. But as you can see, it just fires every single thing that's in the clip, and it has some nice grenades in there. What I will say is, as you can see, let's take a quick look at this real fast, is it has a 5-meter explosion area. So if you've got a group of enemies and you've got them pretty tightly clustered, you can go ahead and empty this into them, and you'll have a good chance to get some status procs on them, and you'll deal some decent damage. It's not like crazy damage. The only thing that I will say about it is, do watch out for this one specifically, mainly because of the fact that also watch out for bad dashes like I always do. Make sure that you be ready to be out of ammo after this. So because as soon as you fire it off, boom, that's all you got. Like, go run and hide, or what do you call this? Energy punch. What is it called? Void blast. Void blast some enemies back to give yourself a little bit of time for your energy to recharge. So near future Rob here, I kind of decided that I want to go ahead and show a quick glimpse of how this actually plays out, because I felt bad. I was like, I don't think I really gave them the looks of this. But as you can see, for trash mobs, this isn't terrible. I won't say that it's great, but right here, you can clear out some trash mobs. But like I was saying earlier, because of the fact that you do empty your clip with that, what is it called? With that first one, or with the grenade launcher one, it can be a little bit shitty, I guess you will say, like, because you are left a bit defenseless. So I'm not the biggest fan in the world of that. And keep in mind, this isn't like expert operator gameplay that we're looking at. I just kind of want to show you how it kind of looks like in the battlefield. Again, you're probably not going to be fighting level 50s with this. I am really tempted, because I have Unairu on right now, to go ahead and use my Wisp, but I'm not going to do that because not everybody uses Unairu's Wisp. But again, I'm regenerating energy, like I was saying, when it comes to the grenades. They do kind of leave you out in the open. That's why I like the burst fire just a little bit better for this. Also keep in mind that the what you're seeing here too is me using the critical prism. So I've got the critical prism in, and it's doing a little bit of work, which I'm very happy about. But again, some of these weapons are not going to be critically made specifically. I just was like, all right, well, let's use that brace. It's on theme, and let's see how it all plays out. As you can see, it's having trouble against heavies, but I mean, we shouldn't be surprised, because literally this is just a, oh my god, I'm terrible. Moving along to tier 2, we have the Lega Prism and the Disick Scaffold, and we've got some fun ones here. If you thought the last ones were a bit boring, we're about to spice it up. So the Lega Prism loose an incendiary attack that damages over time. I'll be honest with you, I did not think that this was what it was. However, it's basically like a mini Ignis, and as you can see, it doesn't have much of a critical chance. It's only 8%. It's got a 1.6 times multiplier, but it does have a 34% status chance. And again, this thing looks ridiculously dope. Absolutely love it. The Disick Scaffold, however, this one is a fun one as well. It lobs a powerful fragmentary explosive charge. So as you can see right here, this one has a 3% critical chance, a 1.5 times critical multiplier, and again, it's heavy on the status end with a 37% status chance. Let's go ahead and take a look at all the coolness that is about to ensue, because I'm gonna be real. The first row a little bit boring, but now we're about to turn up the heat. All right, so we're back at it, and we're gonna start things off with the Lega Prism, and can we just say, this is fucking amazing. Now, I know a lot of people are not into like the ridiculous blindingness of this, because I showed something similar to this off on stream, but oh my god, it just looks so sick. Now, is it the most damaging out there? Probably not. However, this thing is pretty cool. It's got a really, really nice range to it. It actually goes 20 meters out, and it does have a little bit of punch through. So that means I lined up some bombards a little bit earlier to kind of like see how it went. It went through the first one, hit the second one, but did not hit the third one. So maybe it's got about, you know, 2 meters of punch through, something along those lines. And as you can see, this one does have a little bit of AoE onto it too. It's got a little bit of girth. It's got a little bit of girth into it, but it feels very much like the what do you call this? The Ignis. And I just think that it looks really, really dope, to be completely honest with you. So for me, being able to like open up my wrist and have a flamethrower come out there, oh, super, super fun. Again, not necessarily the most powerful on heavies, but you know what I did? I actually did to help level this up faster, as I took in a Sonar Banshee, cast Sonar at the beginning of the wave, popped out my operator, and let them do damage for the rest of the time there. But as you can see, this kind of drives the point home, I guess you would say. Let's wait for this to recharge. It does have a little bit of a recharge to it, so unless you're clearing out a crowd, this probably isn't the best for you guys out there. So let's go ahead and let's do a quick demonstration of like how far its punch through goes, so you guys can see, just for testing purposes. We'll do 1, 2, 3, and we'll do pause AI. We'll do simulate real quick so you guys can see how this goes. So let's do this. And you can kind of see that it's hit the first two. Oh, I guess maybe I'm too slow. Hold on. That it's hit the first two, but it hasn't hit that third one there. You saw that? So it's got a little bit of punch through. It's not insane punch through, but it's punch through nonetheless. Done. Right there. All right, so let's go ahead, kill these guys off, and move on to the second part of this, which is the Disick Scaffold. And this one, it's just too much fucking fun. I love this, but it is a little bit random. So this one is known as the Explosive Charge. It's a fragmentary explosive charge. So let's go ahead and lob. Oh my god, they're still all there. Well, I mean, why not? Just go ahead and just lob this out at them. So as you can see, basically what this is it's a mini explosive Tsar cannon thing, and it has like little fragments that bounce off of it. Now I've seen as little as 3, and as many as like 6. Actually, I've seen as little as 2, to be completely honest with you. Now, the cool thing about this, if you're noticing, it's got a high status chance. So, because of the fact that each of the statuses are like mini bullet attractors, what it'll actually do is it will suck up and vacuum in the mini fragments that come into it if they are propped. So, as you can see, some of them kind of like spin around the enemy, which is, I think it's a really kind of like, it's a cool way for them to kind of like filter in together, as you can see right there. They're just kind of like spinning around in the little bubble, or you can set it up with the flamethrower and get the status going there and lob one in there, right? So just do a little bit of that and then do a little bit of that, and boom! I love it. I think it's a really, really fun mix. Is it my favorite of the bunch? No, but I think it's got some good synergies. Let's go ahead and lean away from these guys. We'll set up a quick kind of, what is it called? We'll set up a quick instance of how they look on like trash mobs, because you can clearly see that they are not necessarily the most powerful on tankier mobs. However, it is really, really fun to go ahead and clear out trash with these ones. Just a good little time. And remember, these are level 50s, so I mean, they're not the easiest trash mobs out there, but as you can see, the Lega Prism does have some girth to it, so you can clear out a crowd fairly well. And let's get some ammo. Wait, let's see this group. It's always a little bit of fun like that. Let's see if we can get both of them. Yeah, we got both of them. we got both of them with that. The explosive, the Disick Scaffold, it's an 11-meter range on that explosion. It's really weird because I was thinking that it was going to be like, oh, it's probably like 10, but I tried it a couple times and I was like, oh no, it's actually 11, which is weird because you get a lot of weird numbers on this. Like the beam itself is like a 28-meter range instead of like a 30-meter range. I was like, that's weird. I would have thought like 25. 25 or 30 because those are normal numbers, but it's 28 and it's what's called 28 and 11. So keep that in mind. 28 meters on the flamethrower, 11 meters on the explosion, then anywhere from 2 to like 6 fragments spawn off of that and deal extra damage in like a little area of effect. Last but not least, we've got the tier 3 Prism and Scaffold, and let me tell you right now, if you thought round 2 was really juicy, round 3 is where it all goes down. So let's start things off with the Claymore Prism, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not at all what I expected it to be. It said it's a short-range, wide-angle energy release. Now, I don't want to describe too much because I want you to see it for yourself. But as you can see, it does have a high critical chance. It's got a 2.4 times critical multiplier, and it's got a 10% status chance. So it's not like crazy statusy. It's really leaning heavily on its crit. Moving on to the Propa Scaffold. Now, I think this one might be bugged because it kind of doesn't do what I thought it would do either. It throws out explosives to be triggered by passing foes. Not really, but it's really cool and it's probably my favorite one of all of them, so I'm just gonna enjoy it while it lasts. As you can see right here, it's got a critical chance of 30, a critical multiplier of 2 times, and it's got a status chance of 0. But it is a whole lot of fun, so let's go ahead and take a look at these ones. Now, before we even jump into combat, I really just want to go ahead and show these to you in their own glory, because legitimately, when I first used them, I was like, oh, okay, DE, so this is what we're doing now? And I understand that some of you are going to be in pain after this. However, I kind of freaking love it. So, starting things off, we have the Klamora Prism. Oh my god. Oh, I love it so much. Let's see that one more time, just on its own. Oh my god, it's amazing. It makes my heart just jump for joy. It's so freaking good. And then, oh, trust me, that's not even the end of it. We've got the Propa Scaffold. Just wait on it. It literally makes my heart so happy. Okay, so the thing that I have to point out here is this is supposed to be explosive that will be triggered by passing foes. Do I count as a passing foe? Because legit, I don't see no passing foes, but they're still going off. And these ones are absolutely amazing. I love them. This literally my favorite scaffold. Like, it makes me rethink my favorite as what is it called? The Symmetra Scaffold, because I love that one. Can't even call it the Symmetra one anymore because they changed Symmetra. But what do you call this? That was definitely one of my favorites. So this is actually a 13-meter fire blast. So as you can see right here, I'm gonna take some space from him, and we're still hitting him. So as you can see, the only thing is, this is a big wave one, so it's good to get in the faces of a bunch of enemies and go ahead and, you know, I guess you would say just cover their faces with your energy. Because you're really just all up in their face. It is so freaking cool. I love the shit out of the visuals of it. And I understand, I'm like, a part of me is like, please DE, don't change it. It's too beautiful. It's too beautiful, DE. Don't ruin this for me. It's too beautiful and wonderful, but it does eat through your ammo a lot, so that is something to keep in mind. But slowly, we're wearing away our Billy right here. And we're knocking him down to size, but it is definitely one of those ones that I can see a lot of people are not fond of because of the energy effects. Also, too, realistically, one of my issues with it is 13 meters is enough if you want to take on Spidolons to be able to kind of like, you know, change their damage type. But I don't really know how like realistic it is because I haven't taken it out on an Eidolon fight to hit like multiple targets. Like, I feel like it just might be a little little restricted. You know what I mean? Like, this is not usually what I mainly go for, but visually, I kind of absolutely love it. I also do want to remind you guys, just in case I wasn't clear about it before, is that I do have the critical brace on all of the prisms and scaffolds that you've seen so far. So if you're seeing a lot of critical hits, it's because I do have that base critical chance boost on these weapons, and the Klamora Prism has a 38% critical chance, and the Propa Scaffold has a 30% critical chance at its base. So adding that scaffold onto it, you'll get 20% extra on top. So you were looking at 50%. So as you can see right there, it's so freaking cool. Now, of course, if this were weaker enemies, you'd be able to clear them out pretty quickly. But I mean, I can still spam it and just do chunks. I mean, that's not it's not great by any means, but it's not terrible. The only thing that I do have to point out is the fact that there is no status attached to this. So don't be surprised. And for these projectiles, by the way, they travel about 3 meters out, and then they have a little bit of a delay before they explode. However, I will say that for me, this is actually the handiest prism that I've found so far in standard combat, because you can actually toss this out onto a defense point. So that's what I usually did when I was leveling this up. I would just get on top of the defense point, and I would just throw these out there, so any enemies that came by would just get smacked by these. And while, you know, maybe they're not the greatest for heavy units like we're showing it off right now on, when we take a look at how this performs on trash targets, it's actually, I'm actually kind of like, wow, that's not bad at all. That is not even bad at all. Have fun. It's so good. I love it. Oh my god. You come here. Hey, you come here. Come here. Again, I mean, that one's not the greatest because of the fact that you literally run out of ammo when you do it. But you can hit multiple targets with it because the beam is so wide, as you can see right there. Again, you do have 13 meters on it. Not necessarily my favorite. I'm going to see if I can find a grouping that's a little bit more friendly to this. Maybe we could do a little, can we do a little bit? Yeah, see, there you go. We can hit multiple targets there. And then wait for the ammo to respawn or regenerate. Do a little bit of this action. Oh, and the explosion on that is a 10-meter AoE. So it travels 3 meters, pauses for a second, then explodes in a 10-meter area effect. I'm very sorry that I wasn't clearer about that. So actual future Rob popping in real quick, because this is right about when past Rob starts talking about the 1000 platinum giveaway, however leaves out some pretty big details like the idiot he is. So here I am. Now, as many of you guys know, this 1000 platinum is coming out of my own pocket, which means that unfortunately I can only distribute it to another PC player. I'm very, very sorry, console players. However, you know, that's all I could do with the money I had. Now, if you are a PC player and want to join in on the giveaway, you got to do a couple things. First and foremost, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and then next up, make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section below. But be sure you include Fortuna 69 in the body of your comment. If you need to go ahead and edit it to add it in, make sure you edit it to add it in, because I'm going to hit a randomizer. I'm going to pick a random comment out of the comment section, and if it's got that in there, then I'm going to go ahead and respond to your comment. I'll toss a heart in on it, and I'll say something like, "You won! Give me your IGN." So definitely go ahead and leave that in the comments below for me. Good luck. This will be running from now until December 24th at midnight, so you have all of Christmas Eve to get this done, and then on the 25th, I'm gonna go ahead and draw the name. I'll respond to whatever, and then I'll announce it, and maybe I'll be on stream, and maybe I can like meet up with you then and distribute it to you then. Regardless, happy NoDeWiHoE to everybody, and I'm gonna go pass it back to Past Rob. Boop. But that about does it for the Fortuna Prisms and Scaffolds review. Technically, we didn't get to take a look at all of the, at all of the braces, but really many of the braces were just all about adjusting the ammo that you have, and the recharge speed. If you want to take a look at those numbers, you can also just go ahead and kind of like free build it in the amp thing and just take a look at what you think might work for you if you want to use those. But still, for me, my favorites are definitely the critical brace that they found here, which starts with a C. I forgot the name of it, but that one. And then, of course, the Prism from Certus that has the status and critical attached to it too. I believe those ones are 12 and 12. So you get a little bit more in total of percentage, but it is spread across 2 different stats. So it's definitely something to keep in mind, and do be aware you can mix and match across both areas. And one quick tip too that I want to give you guys: if you're running short on Fortuna Standing, I'm not sure because I haven't tried it out with Little Duck, but I know that if you go into Onco, when you guild the amps, it uses Quill's Standing. Okay, it uses Quill Standing on the amps. In fact, if you tried to guild it with Little Duck, go ahead and leave down in the comments below if she uses Quill Standing for the gilding of it, or if she uses Voxel Standing. I don't want to mess it up because I'm running short on standing, but just a little thing to try out just in case you guys need to go ahead and get these gilded. But that about does it for me for now. I hope this was helpful, and leave all of your feelings down in the comments below as to what your favorite amp combination is going to be. Are you going to go ahead and create like the perfect amp across Certus and Fortuna? Let me know what your amp babies are, and that about does it for me for now. So as always, love somebody, heart nobody, and touch Fortuna 69. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.